So we had a terrible shooting in a movie theater again. You know, you have to try to keep up with all the shootings in America, and they are starting to blur into one another because they happen almost every week. We had one last week in Lafayette, Louisiana. A crazy guy goes in. He's, a Nazi, I guess, in his own lunatic mind. He's against liberals. He's going to shoot people, so he shoots a couple of people in the back in a movie theater. Now, most rational people look at this and go, okay, well, you know, he's so crazy. Is it really relevant that he's connected to some sort of political ideology? That's an open question. But the one thing that ties all these shootings together, whether it's a political ideology, a religious ideology, or no ideology, is the method of the shooting. Guns. Now, people say, oh, yeah. No. We need guns to protect ourselves. If we just had more guns, we'd be safer. Well, facts show that that's just not the case. Countries that have much stricter gun control don't have mass shootings every week. They don't have them. It doesn't happen in the UK. It doesn't happen in Australia. It doesn't happen in Japan. So much so that every once in a while when I make this point, somebody will say, oh, there was once a stabbing in Japan. There was once a stabbing in Japan. That's correct. That's right. And once in China as well. We have mass shootings every week. Can you even remember all the mass shootings from just this month? I bet you'd have trouble recollecting all of them. Okay, so now, of course, what are conservatives going to do? They're going to jump in and say the answer is more guns, but more specifically, in movie theaters. Brilliant idea. All right, Rick Perry, go ahead, educate us.
I will suggest to you that these concepts of gun-free zones are a bad idea. I think that you allow the citizens of this country who have been appropriately trained, appropriately backgrounded, know how to handle and use firearms to carry them.
You seem to be suggesting that a solution to the problem would be to allow patrons in the movie theater to bring guns with them into the movie theater.
I think that it makes a lot of sense to send the message across this country. If we believe in the Second Amendment and we believe in people's right to protect themselves and to defend themselves and their families, that to tell them that they cannot carry a weapon that they are legally obliged to carry, that they have been through the training for, makes sense to me.
It's former governor of Texas running for president of the United States right now. Makes a lot of sense to him to have everybody in a crowded, dark movie theater that highly weaponized. That's a great idea. Why don't we all bring our RPGs to the movie theater too? Now, of course, there's been study after study that shows that if people are confronted in a high-pressure situation where someone is shooting at them, are they able to, if they have their own gun, pull it out and shoot the guy who started the shooting in the first place? The answer is an overwhelming no. Most of the time, they don't get their gun out and they're shot dead. The second most common occurrence is they shoot the wrong person or themselves. Okay, now I know those are facts, so facts are annoying to people who have a certain ideology and don't want to be moved from that. Okay, so let's get this right based on your own sense of reason and logic, the Rick Perrys of the world. So you think that it's a great idea to have as many people as possible in that theater packing weapons and guns so that when one guy pulls out a gun, everybody else pulls out their gun. And do they remember who the first shooter was? Or do they start shooting at each other? And on top of that, you're going to put it in a dark theater. Brilliant idea. Brilliant idea. Because I bet inside a dark movie theater it gets easier, right? He's not the only one saying this, man. This is all over television. Philip Holloway is a concealed carry advocate. He was on CNN. And why bother bringing these guys on? They painted him as a legal expert. Look at this joke of a human being.
Packing a weapon when going to the movies. Why?
Well, I certainly don't see a problem with it in general, but, you know, the fear of armed resistance could be the thing that deters someone from picking that particular target. Movie theaters are unique because they're dark and they're oftentimes loud, and if you go in there and you open fire, who knows what you're going to hit. And if you happen to have a firearm on you, it may not be the right thing to do to immediately resort to that because you cannot identify the shooter. So in in principle, I don't have a problem with what Governor Perry said, but I don't think necessarily that resorting to a firearm in an active shooter situation in a movie theater under those circumstances is the correct first choice. Acting appropriately with that firearm, if someone is in the movie theater armed and an active shooting situation takes place, you don't want that person acting inappropriately. You want them to seek cover and then to decide whether or not they have a shot that they can safely take. Otherwise, it can only make matters worse.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's the reasonable one. He says take cover first. And it shouldn't be your first option, but second or third option. I mean, once, you've figured out what, you can't run away? No, because you're going to be a hero. You're going to be a tough guy. And you're going to start shooting in that dark theater, aren't you? And he says, well, I mean, everybody should have the weapon, and maybe that'll deter people. Deter people? The guy was a lunatic who rambled on about Nazis and how the liberals were going to take over. Look, these guys are all lunatics. James Holmes had no political ideology, as far as we can tell, was a lunatic. He dressed up like the Joker. You're not going to deter that guy. If it's the Muslim radicals that are doing it, they can't wait to be martyrs and get their virgins in heaven or whatever the hell they're looking for, right? You're not going to deter those guys. They're looking to get killed anyway. All you're going to do is get other people killed. Shooting in a crowded, loud, dark movie theater, if you're a rational human being, yes, shouldn't be your first option. It also shouldn't be your 18th option. Get your family to safety, man. All these guys, 300 million guns in the country, and they all think they're the last action hero. It is a recipe for disaster. So we have disaster already at our doorstep with mass shootings every week. It's only going to get worse when knuckleheads like this, encouraged by greasy politicians like Rick Perry, going to start shooting back, except they don't know who they're shooting at. It's going to get worse, not better. And the NRA is going to celebrate it and say with the Republican politicians who get rich and fat off the NRA, and they're going to say, yes, the answer is always more guns so we can make more money. That's their agenda. Wake up to it. Oh, you take our weapons away, because we're going to fight back against the government. What are you going to do? You're going to shoot cops? Well, I thought you were pro-cops. What happened? Oh, no, you're in the military. Oh, you're going to shoot at the military? Are you un-American? I thought you guys were patriots. What happened? In case we need to murder federal officials. Oh, I see. Oh, that's such a compelling case. I didn't know you were making such a great case about murdering government officials. Oh, my bad.